In the deepest part of the ocean, far beyond where sunlight reaches, lies a magical place called Aeura's Shell, a grand coral amphitheater carved by time and sea magic. Once every 100 years, it awakens to host the most beautiful event beneath the sea, the Midnight Chorus. Here, mermaids from every corner of the ocean compete, not with spells or battles, but with their voices. The winner receives the Pearl of Aeura, a glowing orb said to be crafted from the first moonbeam that ever touched the sea. The pearl grants one wish, any wish. But this year, something unexpected happened. At the edge of the Singing Isles lived a young mermaid named Lyra. She was 18, beautiful in the way wildflowers are beautiful. Her skin shimmered with rose gold, and her long hair danced in hues of pink and soft lilac. Her tail sparkled with pearl-white scales, dusted with blush, like morning light kissing seashells. But Lyra had one flaw, or so she thought. Her voice cracked, not always, but enough to be noticed, enough to be mocked. While the other mermaids practiced perfect runs and high shimmering notes, Lyra stayed behind coral arches, singing to herself, and to the tiny sea creatures who loved her melody anyway. They said she'd ruin the tradition if she tried. They said the Pearl of Aeura wasn't for broken voices, but deep inside, Lyra's song carried something the others had forgotten: heart. The night of the choosing arrived. Grand sea chariots arrived from distant kingdoms. The amphitheater glowed with floating jellyfish lights. Mermaids wore glimmering gowns of sea velvet and coral jewels. Each competitor stepped forward, placing their hand over the echo stone. If the stone glowed, they were chosen. The others watched, whispering. Lyra's name was never called, until the very last moment, the echo stone shattered in her hands. Everyone gasped. Instead of glowing white like it had for the others, it glowed violet, a color never seen before. The pearl has chosen its own, the high coral priestess whispered. Among the chosen was Morelia, a silver-tailed star vocalist from the Western Deep. She was flawless, trained, famous, and furious. "Your voice is a crack in tradition," she hissed at Lyra. "You'll embarrass all of us." Lyra didn't reply, but inside her heart trembled. That night, as she practiced, she noticed her seaweed was slashed. Her echo shells were gone, and someone had smeared black ink over her practice corals. Only one word remained, written in twisted seaweed letters: mute. Lyra swam alone, far from the competition grounds, tears stinging her eyes. She floated above a glowing trench, her hands shaking. And then she heard it. Not a song, a hum, a vibration, software ancient. She followed the sound and found herself before a cracked shell, old, glowing faintly blue. Inside rested an old pearl, dull, forgotten. When she touched it, her ears filled with music, not perfect, but alive. Her heart synced with the sound. The pearl hummed back in response. Suddenly she saw flashes, visions. Long ago, the Pearl of Aeura didn't choose perfection. It chose truth, emotion, meaning, souls that felt the song, not just performed it. And it had chosen her. The amphitheater filled with thousands. Even humans on distant shores claimed they could hear faint echoes that night. One by one, mermaids sang. Morelia's voice was flawless, like polished glass, notes high and clear. Applause thundered. Then, it was Lyra's turn. The amphitheater stilled. She floated to the center, breath shaking. And then, she began. Her first note cracked, laughter rippled. But she didn't stop. She closed her eyes, felt the music in her chest, and she let go. Not of a song, but of everything. Her fear, her longing, her heart. The melody rose like waves. Sometimes it wavered, sometimes it soared, but it pulsed with realness. Mermaids who had mocked her began to cry. Even Myrelia froze, tears in her eyes. When Lyra finished, there was no applause, just silence. And then, the pearl floated from the priestess's hands and landed in Lyra's. Everyone watched. "What will she wish for?" they whispered. "Fame? A perfect voice? Power?" Lyra held the pearl and whispered, "I wish that every mermaid could remember what it means to sing with heart." The pearl glowed so brightly, it lit up the entire ocean. From that day forward, no voice was mocked for being different. The midnight chorus changed forever. Now, every 100 years, they don't choose the best singer. They choose the one who sings with soul. Lyra didn't become a queen or a star, but she became something more, a legend, the girl whose cracked voice changed the sea. And every year, at midnight, a faint melody can still be heard rising from the reef. A song that isn't perfect, but feels like home. And that is the song of the pearl that sang at midnight. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. Sometimes the most broken voices carry the strongest truth.